Hey guys, Vazy back here, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up the World Junior Championships using custom leagues in NHL 24. I want to start by saying this isn't going to be perfect by any means, but it's definitely one of the better ways I've been able to get the tournament to run here in this year's game. It is a little bit complicated, so that is why I'm creating this video, just kind of to walk you guys through step by step on how to set up this tournament in NHL 24. And just before we get into this, I did want to note this is using my custom roster here, Update 5 on Xbox Series X and S. Just before we get into the video, because you will need all the World Junior teams created, and a couple of other teams here that I'll get into shortly. So, as I just mentioned, you will have to go through, unfortunately, and create all these World Junior teams, or just use my roster if you're on Series X and S. It does take quite a bit. There are a lot of players, especially on those smaller countries like Germany, Norway, that didn't have their prospects in the game. And I did just want to note here that as of I'm recording this video, Finland and the Czechs haven't actually announced their team yet, so that is why you'll see that their ratings are quite a bit higher at the moment. This will be fixed, obviously, before the release of the roster update. So once you actually have all the World Junior teams created, you're going to need to create an extra 10 just kind of blank teams. This is because in custom leagues, you technically still have to have the AHL as one of your leagues, which is kind of frustrating and whatever, but you do have to have those placeholder teams, so I just came up with a couple of generic Sweden World Junior teams with the logo all blacked out. You can do whatever you want, but you will need those 10 extra teams when setting up the franchise. And it is very important to note that you do have to have all these players with a super low overall, otherwise the AHL affiliate is just going to call up the better players. So if you're using the AHL teams, they're likely going to be higher rated than the junior players themselves, and they'll just get called up to fill their spots. So I went through and just took an ECHL team, lowered all their stats, basically 36. If you want, you can just create random players, just make them just not good at all, but you will need that team of very low overall players here just to prepare and get loaded into the mode. So once you actually have that all created, we are ready to start to jump into franchise mode and into custom leagues and start getting everything set up here. So like I said, we are using custom leagues for this. We are going to be setting the teams here to 10, as we do have 10 World Junior teams in this tournament here. So we are at 10. We're going to be having 2 divisions, as it is 2 divisions in real life. Salary cap and everything can stay off for this. And when looking at the schedule, we're just going to have it set to 1 round robin. As you play 9 games with this, it's the lowest we can do, and it's not too bad. When looking at the point format, we are going to have wins set to 3 points. Overtime wins and shootout wins are going to be worth 2 points. Overtime losses and shootout losses are going to be worth 1 point. And any regulation losses are not worth any points, just like how it is in real life here with the World Juniors. And when looking at the playoff format, this is the one I wasn't 100% sure on. Kind of been messing around. I have it set as divisional. We definitely want to make sure that we do have 8 of the teams making it, 4 from each division. That is how it is in real life as well. 8 of the 10 teams do make it. And then when it comes to the playoff format, just like it is in real life, it is always a best of 1 game series. You just have it to 1 home for each round. You will have to do that for the 3 rounds, the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals here. So that's all you're going to have to change there. When it comes to the AHL teams, these don't matter at all. The only thing I change is making the amount of games to 20. In the end of the day, it doesn't matter at all for this. So once all our rules are set, we can actually start loading into the mode here and substituting the teams. So this is the one thing it might take you a little bit. Just going through all the 10 teams, we will have to go and substitute all the World Junior teams. So I will do that here quickly, and I will be right back with you all. So now that that is all set up, you will see when I scroll through here, we have all the World Junior teams substituted for the NHL teams. So this will give all the rosters that I created, now they will be imported into the custom league itself. Next thing up here we do have to do is change the divisions around and rename them just to Group A and B. I'll go and do that here quickly. So now that all the teams are in the right divisions and the groups have been named Group A and Group B, we are ready to progress here with our final step. And again, I just wanted to note the Czechs and Finland, they have that high overall just because their rosters are not out yet. That will be changed here before the update is released. So the final thing we have to do here is substitute all the AHL teams out. Currently, if we just load it in with it, a lot of these players would get called up to the World Junior teams, and that's not what we want. We want to keep these rosters the exact same as possible. So with that being said, we have to take all those blank teams that we created and start substituting them out here for the AHL teams. Again, this is kind of why we prepared for it, and they have all the low overalls, so they won't be interfering with all the rosters that we've already created. So basically just hit the right bumper, go substitute, and then find all those 10 teams we created, and make sure you substitute them all. It doesn't matter who goes where, but yeah, they all just have to be substituted before entering the mode. So I'll do that here quickly myself, and we will progress into the mode. So now that all the AHL teams have been substituted, we shouldn't have any issues when actually loading up the mode. So when continuing here, we will be taken to the menu here of all the settings. Owner mode we don't want on. CPU trades, make sure it's off, otherwise the teams will be trading with each other, which would be kind of funny actually. And also fog of war and head coach edit lines, you can turn those all off. We really don't need any settings on for this. It's not a crazy long franchise mode, it's just to get set up for the tournament. So once that's all done, we can start our career here, and I will show you guys kind of how this all looks and how it is all set up. So I'm just going to simulate to the start of the regular season here, which is really the start of the tournament here in real life. Let's get through this here quickly. Take a look at some of the rosters. I believe Canada here is first. You'll see that everything is all intact is how it's been made. No one's got called up, no one's got signed, no one's got traded. Obviously the other two teams there aren't done yet, but Germany the exact same thing, Latvia. You can go on through the whole list here. Everything is exactly how it should be, which is very good to see. The one only real downside I've found to using this, other than just some tournaments, which I don't know even how you would substitute teams, is just that this will be over the course of a whole season. It's not the biggest deal, you're only really playing 1 or 2 games a week here, a couple in that month there, but it's nothing too crazy. It's like 9 games spread out over the whole season, and that's followed by just the 1 quick game playoff format, which we currently have it set as. But I do think that is going to do it for today's video on setting up the World Juniors using custom leagues here in NHL 24. Definitely let me know how you guys would do this if you're doing it any differently. But until then, I will see you all in the next video.